Chiefs vs. 49ers Super Bowl facts.
The Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers are set to face off in what is set to be a great Super Bowl LVIII. With the game right around the corner, we will break down some interesting facts involving the two franchises. Up first is a trip down memory lane to see how the previous Super Bowl matchup between the two teams played out. 1. How many Super Bowl matchups between the two teams? Currently, the Chiefs and the 49ers have only faced off in one previous Super Bowl. This took place in 2019 in Super Bowl LIV. The 49ers came into the game with a record of 13-3 while the Chiefs were 12-4. Early on in the game was neck and neck with the game being tied 10-10 going into the half. It appeared that the 49ers had the game in the bag after a dominant third quarter after they scored 10 unanswered points. However, the Chiefs could not be stopped in the fourth quarter, scoring 21 unanswered points and winning by a final score of 31-20. While these two teams have only faced off once against each other in the Super Bowl, both franchises have made the big game a fair amount of times. 2. Team with most Super Bowl appearances. The 49ers and Chiefs are both two of the top teams with the most Super Bowl appearances. With this Super Bowl, Kansas City has officially made 6 Super Bowls, placing them in 6th place, while San Francisco is tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys, and Denver Broncos for 2nd place with 8 appearances. Thus far, the Chiefs have taken on the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl I, the Minnesota Vikings in Super Bowl IV, the 49ers in Super Bowl LIV, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl LV, the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl LVII, and will play the 49ers again in Super Bowl LVIII. While the 49ers have played in the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals in Super Bowl XVI, the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl XIX, the Bengals again in Super Bowl XXIII, the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl XXIV, the San Diego Chargers in Super Bowl XXIX, the Baltimore Ravens in Super Bowl XLVII, the Chiefs in Super Bowl LIV, and will play them again in Super Bowl LVIII. While the 49ers hold a solid lead in Super Bowl appearances, we will now take a look and see if the same holds true for Super Bowl wins. 3. Team with most Super Bowl wins. Similar to Super Bowl appearances, the 49ers still hold a lead over the Chiefs in Super Bowl wins as well. Currently, the 49ers have 5 Super Bowl wins in franchise history, while the Chiefs sit at a still very respectable 3. San Francisco's wins have come against the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 26-21, the Miami Dolphins winning 38-16, again the Bengals this time winning by 20-16, the biggest win in Super Bowl history over the Denver Broncos by a score of 55-10, and their final win coming against the San Diego Chargers by a score of 49-26. Kansas City's wins have come against the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 23-7, the 49ers in the 31-20 game we previously covered, and last year against the Philadelphia Eagles by a final score of 38-35. Up next is a fact that very well could change depending on the outcome of this Super Bowl. 4. Player with the most Super Bowl MVPs between the two teams. Despite the 49ers holding the lead in Super Bowl appearances and wins no matter what happens in the upcoming game, there is a chance that there could be a tie between the franchise's all-time leader in Super Bowl MVPs. Currently, legendary 49ers quarterback Joe Montana sits in 2nd place with 3 Super Bowl MVPs. However, Patrick Mahomes finds himself tied in 3rd with Bart Starr, Terry Bradshaw, and Eli Manning, who have all won the award twice. If Mahomes is able to lead the Chiefs to victory and has even a solid game, there is a strong chance that he will join Montana in 2nd place. This is far from the only bit of history that could be made with a Chiefs victory. 5. Longest stretch without a repeat Super Bowl winner. The NFL is potentially the most difficult league of them all to win consistently in. With there being so much talent moving around each year paired with the constant injuries, very rarely does it line up that a team is able to win a Super Bowl 2 times in a row in recent history. In fact, no team has been able to pull off the feat over the past 18 years. The Chiefs have a chance to finally break the streak this season with a win, something that has not been done since the New England Patriots won in the 2004 and 2005 seasons. To make this stat even more crazy, Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy, the players who are set to start at quarterback for each team, were both still in elementary school the stat time a team repeated in the Super Bowl. Whether the Chiefs go on to win or lose this year's Super Bowl, he has already made history in a very impressive way.
6.
youngest player of all time to start in 4 Super Bowls. Since taking over the starting quarterback job for the Chiefs in the 2018 season, Patrick Mahomes has proven that he is the next face of the league. Some have been comparing him to Tom Brady for years, while others have already gone as far as to proclaim Mahomes as the greatest to ever play the position. While there are a few more accolades for him to achieve before he reaches GOAT status, he is set to beat Brady and become the youngest player in NFL history to ever start in 4 Super Bowls. It is already impressive enough to even make it to 4 Super Bowls. However, Mahomes being the youngest to ever do it goes to show that he could end up finishing his career as the best of all time. Mahomes is currently 28 and beat Brady by a full 2 seasons, who made his 4th Super Bowl start at the age of 30 in 2007. Mahomes is not the only quarterback who has already made history before the game even started. 7. First Mr. Irrelevant to ever start in a Super Bowl. Mr. Irrelevant is the nickname that is bestowed on the player who is selected with the last overall pick in any given NFL draft. In the 2022 draft, that player would go on to be Brock Purdy. More times than not, a player selected this low in the draft will struggle to even stay on the roster through training camp, let alone earn a starting spot. In only 2 years since he was drafted, Purdy is now set to be the first Mr. Irrelevant to ever start in a Super Bowl at the quarterback position. Shockingly, there were 2 other Mr. Irrelevants who played in a Super Bowl. The first player to do it was Marty Moore, a linebacker who played for the New England Patriots in Super Bowl XXXVI. The second is Ryan Succop became the first Mr. Irrelevant at any position to start in a Super Bowl, where he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 55. This next fact is a testament to just how well both teams have played this season on one side of the ball. 8. 2 elite defenses proving defense wins championships. While both the 49ers and Chiefs have stellar offenses, it becomes very easy to overlook just how talented their defensive units have been this season. This will be one of the best defensive Super Bowl matchups statistically. Through the regular season, the Chiefs finished second in the league in points per game allowed at only 17.3. While the 49ers came in a very close third place with 17.5 points per game allowed. This has continued through the playoffs, as the Chiefs have only given up 13.7 points per game, somehow improving on their already impressive regular season average. On the flip side, the 49ers have let up a bit on the defensive side of the ball, averaging 26 points per game allowed in their 2 playoff matchups. Despite both defensive units playing at a very high level through the season, by no means does it mean the offenses will not get their chances to shine. Rounding out the list is a run of dominance from both teams in the stadium where this year's Super Bowl will be held. 9. Neither team has yet to lose a game in Allegiant Stadium. In a game such as this one between 2 elite teams in the regular season, home field advantage can end up being the deciding factor. While this Super Bowl will be held at a neutral site, both teams have an incredible record at Allegiant Stadium. While the Chiefs have played a fair amount more in the stadium, neither team has yet to lose a game at Allegiant. Currently, the Chiefs have a record of 5-0, while the 49ers stand at 1-0.